Justice is blind, as they say, but in Blake Lively's case, it could be starstruck. Kay, the actress who was once referred to as America's sweetheart, received yet another pass from the legal system this week. Fit time, she eyes, choosing the location of her interrogation in a legal dispute that is getting out of hand. Her legal team is battling more than simply Justin Baldwin in the meantime, subpoenaing creators for private subscriber data and giving TMZ the inside scoop first. They have begun to target YouTubers. It's calculated, not simply sneaky. Insiders are already speculating about something much more sinister as the internet begins to turn against her. Blake's own group may include someone who wants to ruin her. For what is going on behind closed doors? It's more than simply poor PR, it's a complete collapse. Legal experts were taken aback when Blake Lively was given permission to be deposed. In her own lawyer's office, almost anyone has this access unless they are a Hollywood A-lister with significant influence. The team of Justin Baldwin protested right away. They said that it was a purposeful power grab rather than merely an inconvenience because Blake's legal team asserts that she is concerned about paparazzi. In actuality, though, her lawyer's office is a mile from the first suggested address. This is when things become complicated. According to Baldwin's attorneys, the news site denies them the opportunity to conduct the deposition in a fair manner. There is no neutral ground or safe space for private strategic discussions. Everything is under Blake's control, including her walls, regulations, and monitoring. Not only is that uncomfortable, but it's also risky. Attorneys worry that even private conversations might be overheard, captured on tape, or worse. It's similar to being instructed to keep your voice quiet as you enter the lion's den. However, the judge still decided in her favor in spite of everything. Why? Due to a joke that Baldwin's lawyer made. He jokingly stated that they need to sell tickets and have the deposition at Madison Square Garden. Blake's team seized on it, asserting that it demonstrated the Baldwin side's attempt to make the case into a public spectacle, a joke taken seriously, and a means of shifting the balance of power in one of the year's most contentious celebrity cases. However, you would be mistaken if you believed that this was about privacy protection, because Blake's subsequent actions destroyed any pretense of avoiding attention. Blake's legal team was discreetly working on something else as they whined about privacy and paparazzi, something that shocked YouTube producers into silence. They began delivering subpoenas to content producers, not only requesting that they remove videos, not even seeking explanation. They got right to the point, requesting internal statistics, account metrics, and subscriber data. Just icy legal documents, no communication, no warning. Additionally, free speech is given a huge middle finger. The worst part is still to come. TMZ got the scoop before the subpoenas even arrived. Yes, exactly. Blake's team is accused of being the first to disclose it to the media, transforming a legal threat into a public story while seeming to be the target of media attention. Let's go right to the point. You use the press as a weapon against independent creators while claiming to be attempting to keep things private and controlling where you are questioned. Molly McPhersonson, a crisis public relations specialist renowned for maintaining objectivity, described it as an enormous strategic failure. Because this is the one thing that superstars never seem to learn. Attempting to quiet innovators simply makes them more vocal. Additionally, the response in this instance was immediate. Not only were viewers dubious, but they were also incensed. What was Blake attempting to conceal? What caused her sudden fear of YouTubers? However, this went beyond simply keeping critics quiet. It appeared to be far more about managing the story from the courtroom to your suggested feed. It wasn't because the inventors went public that the subpoenas were made public. It was because, apparently, Blake's crew had already given the story. TMZ. Consider that. Leaking subpoena facts to a gossip website is the last thing you should do if the intention was to keep things confidential. Unless that was always the intention. The spin was managed by Blake's camp by arriving to TMZ first. Before the receivers even realized they were being targeted, they shaped the story. It was a clear and loud statement: we're observing. We'll be there, and the spotlight is under our control. It was more than just a legal strategy. It resembled psychological combat. Because who wants to wake up to their name appearing in headlines, including legal threats they haven't even yet seen? This is where things become even more complicated. The selective indignation, the media-friendly phrasing, and the timing of the release all suggest a plan. It's a desperate one, not a nice or intelligent one. A tactic that suggests frightening the storyteller since we're losing control of the narrative. But it backfired rather than silence the internet. The same issue started to be raised by fans, creators, and even public relations experts. Who is actually in charge of organizing all of this? Because Blake Lively doesn't often act in this manner. This wasn't only hostile, it was intimate. And she's being pushed toward the brink by someone close to her. One question keeps coming up with every legal twist, every story, and every action that goes wrong. Is someone helping Blake Lively sabotage herself, or is she doing it herself? Because, in the opinion of crisis management specialist Molly McPherson, who has years of experience in the field, Blake's recent choices are not just poor, but also harmful to himself. It's not just a mess, it's a complete collapse, from tracking down the founders, to leaking subpoenas, to allowing her attorneys to use depositions as publicity wars. And here's the crazy part. Blake isn't the genius behind this. In Molly's opinion, she believes that Blake's close friend or family member wants to watch her fail. Not the general public, her inner circle, or detractors, since no capable legal firm would counsel a well-known actress to become viral online, particularly during a public case. Blake is either disregarding all of the expert counsel she is receiving, or worse, she is surrounded by individuals who intentionally give her terrible advice. Although it seems absurd, it makes sense. The tone-deaf PR stunts, the persistent overreactions, and the aggressive legal approach that only serve to increase the criticism. She feels as though someone is whispering in her ear and pressuring her to pass out. However, who and why? The situation becomes much more dire at that point. Since the more you delve, the more a name keeps popping up repeatedly. Ryan Reynolds remained silent for months, too silent. Blake resisted the blows, grinning in pictures and making jokes on the internet, as usual. However, his fingerprints are all over this behind the scenes. According to those close to the pair, Ryan is not only aware of Blake's legal battle, he is very much involved. Furthermore, the question is not if he is assisting her, but rather if he is the one pressuring her to fight. Consider it. This is the same Ryan Reynolds who, in the early days of Deadpool, allegedly pulled rank on set, argued with the filmmakers, and made the actors leave. He is known for being charismatic in public and composed in private. People are now beginning to question whether Ryan views this legal action as an opportunity for retribution against whoever, rather than as a catastrophe. Anyone who has ever questioned Blake or made fun of Ryan himself, including critics and authors, remember that Reynolds has been the object of internet harassment before, and there are rumors that he took it personally. Additionally, this entire issue bears the hallmarks of someone attempting to outsmart the public. According to Molly McPherson, someone having a control obsession. Someone who disregards the fact that actual people, actual fans, are watching and treats public opinion like a chessboard. Even though Ryan is skilled at marketing, this isn't marketing, it's sabotage. Blake isn't only stuck with poor advice if he is the one making decisions. She is enmeshed in a conflict that she may not prevail in. Blake Lively wasn't meant to be here, since the individual beside her was holding the match. She was the red carpet queen, the media darling, and the actress who was impervious to wrongdoing until she did it. Her every action now seems to be a step more down the precipice. Additionally, crisis PR professionals say she is doing everything incorrectly. Blake has made the opposite decision rather than taking things back and regaining people's confidence. Using PR stunts, media manipulation, and legal intimidation, she subpoenaed creators during a slow news cycle, promising them to retaliate on social media, the one platform she has no control over. She turned a court case into a media circus by giving TMZ information before disclosing the real parties. She silenced others by stealing the victim's attention. As a result, her reputation is rapidly deteriorating. Fans are beginning to inquire, where is the responsibility? Why the fixation on control? Why target those discussing court records that are available to the public? And Molly McPhersonson, someone who's advised people through actual hardship and says it's not simply a lousy appearance. There's a total collapse of trust. There is one golden rule in crisis public relations: be an honest leader. Adhere to your principles. Display your vulnerabilities. Blake isn't doing any of it though. Rather, she's erecting barriers, hiding behind attorneys, and handling criticism as a threat. No opportunity to develop. Even worse, she's losing more than just fans. She is damaging her own reputation with important parties, other celebrities, business executives, and film studios because nobody wants to be linked to a legal battle that turns into a public spat. Nobody wants to be the next person to receive a subpoena for merely holding an opinion. And it indicates that this is more than simply a legal matter if Ryan or someone else is actually undermining her from the inside out. It's a free-fall career. This first appeared to be a convoluted legal dispute. A conflict between two Hollywood names, she said. Now though, it's something completely else. Blake Lively is on the rise. Her legal tactic is failing, and the public no longer supports the measure. The odd legal wins, the leaks, and the subpoenas. All of this points to a more significant query. Not only what's taking place, but also why. Because either Blake's trusted people are guiding her down a dark path, or someone is working behind the scenes to ensure that she never gets better. Is Ryan Reynolds subtly stoking the fires while maintaining a spotless public image? Is the legal team driven more by a desire for power than by a desire for justice? Or is Blake just revealing her true self to the world when the cameras aren't rolling? There is no doubt that this is not finished, and what occurs next may either restore all she has lost or destroy it completely. You are aware that there is a problem with the plot if you have read this far. Don't simply scroll by then. If you want more unbiased analyses of what's actually going on behind Hollywood's manufactured grins, hit the like button. This case is far from over, so subscribe immediately and enable alerts. And believe me, it will become much worse in the upcoming chapter.